Hello students. So last year we were discussing about solid mixtures and how to separate them. We had studied a lot of different methods. Now today we will take a short look into the solid liquid mixtures. Now let me tell you very clearly that since I hope you have already got to know that you will be having classes, so we will just brush over it in general, and in detail we will do it when we can have one-on-one classes. But and everybody, all of you right now have your textbooks, you have your notebooks, so ensure that whatever work is being given and whatever parts are being taught to you, you please go through the same from your textbook, and ensure that you are not leaving out anything. So the first thing that we do is the first type of separation method that we have is sedimentation and decantation. Now just like the last day, I have put in everything in the form of examples. Now the example that I take is sand and water. Now let's talk about a beaker. I have taken a beaker, or for that matter any container, whatever container you are having in front of your eyes, and you take a little bit of sand into it and you add water, quite a lot of water. Do you think they will dissolve? No. I'm sure all of you have mixed sand and water when you were kids playing. So you must have seen that sand and water do not mix at all. They form a mixture, a heterogeneous mixture at that. Now what happens, you will see, is that the sand completely settles down. Sand being heavier, it completely will settle down at the bottom of the container where you have taken it, and water is present as it is. So the process of settling down of that heavier particles into the at the bottom of the beaker or at the bottom of the container that you have taken for your work, that process is actually sedimentation. And now what you can do is, since the total amount of sand is settled down, what you can do is you can just tilt that container or tilt the beaker and ensure that the water trickles off from that into another container, which helps you in separating water completely, and the sand is left behind in that container. So that tilting of the particular container to ensure that water flows through it and sand doesn't, that process is called decantation. So sedimentation and decantation actually go hand in hand. One cannot exist without the other. So the residue or the sand has to settle down as a sediment. We call it sediment. It settles down, and the process is called sedimentation. And the water actually is decanted, or it decants, and the process is called decantation. So it's a case where both of them go hand in hand. They cannot go, the one cannot go without the other. The second one. Now let's move on to the second one. The second one that I have here is filtration. I'm sure all of you know what is filtration. You're aware of it better than me. Now there's a diagram of filtration in the textbook. We will go into that details later. Now what is the difference between sedimentation, decantation and filtration? The difference is that in case of sedimentation and decantation, the solid does not dissolve at all in the liquid, and it completely settles down at the bottom of the liquid, and so you can just decant the liquid and your work is done. Filtration is not that easy. What happens in case of filtration, the problem is that the solid particles are really small. They are really small, and in some cases they settle down at the bottom of the beaker, and some of them also go around in the beaker. So it's like flowing around in the water, amongst the water molecules. So you cannot really do sedimentation and decantation with it. You have to take in some other method. So what is that other method that we take up? So we take a filter paper, we'll take a funnel, we take another beaker, we take a funnel over it, we clamp the funnel with a stand, and on that funnel we put up a filter paper. We will learn from the diagram later. It's not that we will learn it, we will learn from the diagram later. Right now just let me explain. So through that filter paper that's put on the funnel, we will pour our mixture. The mixture example that I have taken over here is chalk and water, a mixture of chalk particles in water. So what happens in that case? What will happen is you will see the water will trickle down through the filter paper funnel and will actually get deposited at the beaker below it, whereas the chalk particles will stay back on the filter paper itself. After you have poured it all, if you take it out from your from your apparatus, whatever you have taken, and if you take the filter paper in your hand, you can see the wet chalk particles are actually sticking to that filter paper. So this method of separation, where you have to use a filter paper, a funnel, a stand and another beaker, this process is actually called filtration. Diagram for it is very important and we will go into that later. So whenever you're talking of filtration, the typical example that should come to your mind is chalk and water. I again repeat, the basic difference between sedimentation and filtration is that in filtration, the solid particles are really small. So, you just can't separate them by a simple method like sedimentation and decantation. Now moving on to my third procedure. My third procedure is evaporation. Now before I explain that method to you, evaporation method to you, I think all of you are already aware of what is the process of evaporation. Like, you take up a bowl of water, you take up water in a container, you put it on your gas stove and you switch on the gas and you just let it boil. You let it boil till the whole of your liquid evaporates. Even if you have taken simple drinking water, you will see after whole of the water evaporates, there are some white concentric rings. Concentric means round rings that are left over at the bottom of the bowl that you have taken or at the bottom of the container that you have taken. What is that? That is the amount of dissolved salts present in water. Now, if we are talking of a situation where I have actually mixed common salt with water, common salt and water, they dissolve in each other, but if we want to, they have totally dissolved. So they have made a homogeneous mixture. Salt water is a homogeneous mixture. It looks absolutely clear like water. Even in your wildest dreams, you cannot imagine that it's a mixture. It looks as clear as water, but it is a mixture. It is a homogeneous mixture. How are we going to separate it? Again, the same thing as I said. We pour that mixture in a container. We put it on our gas stove. We put it on our LPG. And we actually put on the flame. Now we let it evaporate. We let the whole of the water evaporate. It's a time-taking process because evaporation is a surface phenomenon. So it's a time-taking process, but we let that happen with its time. So maybe it's taking half an hour, 1 hour, whatever time it takes. You will see after all of the water has evaporated, there are white, I can say, white stains at the bottom of that container. You might not always see perfect concentric rings. You will definitely see white stains at the bottom of the container. What is it? That is the common salt that has been left behind. So evaporation is a case where my water has evaporated, completely evaporated, and what I have left behind is my solid part that is left behind at the bottom of my container. So I hope these three processes are very clear. Solid liquid mixtures are really important, so I'm going a little slow with it. So the three things that we studied today are, we studied sedimentation and decantation, we studied filtration, and we studied evaporation. So in our next class, whenever we will have it, we will continue from crystallization, moving on to distillation, centrifugation, and another one that I couldn't write here, froth flotation. Thank you, class.